Hello and welcome to another Hero Factory MOC review. And as you can see, I zoomed out too much, but this is my new studio. I have finally got my new desk. Yeah, and it is pretty big. I've got a bunch of stuff on here and stuff that I kind of sort out. I got a couple of architecture sets which are really nice. But anyway, back to the MOC, and this is one that I made in a couple of days, and I think it is a really cool MOC. And it is basically a dragon. I wasn't able to make wings big enough to be able to suit the size of it, unfortunately, but I think it actually looks better without the wings anyway. So now I'm just going to give you a bit of a 360 look at it. As you can see, it has got a tongue there, and it has a posable mouth, just like that. The head down the back here, I don't really know what inspired me, but I kind of got the I don't know, I got the idea from Alien. That's where I got the idea from. It only just occurred to me. I got the idea from Alien. A picture will come up on the screen of what exactly I mean, and that is essentially what I based it off, except I gave the front of the head more of a dragon-like look, and the head is actually based off an old Bionicle set too, so it's kind of like a combination between Alien and that. And I decided to put the tongue in just for kicks because I think it looks pretty cool. And at that stage, when I put the tongue in, I was thinking it being more like a dragon lizard type thing. So moving on, I did have a bit of a problem with the legs and the stability of it, but that's alright. I have got a lot of plating on it, which I'll show you a bit later, but if we move it forwards a bit, you can see that it's got a really long tail that just is made up of segments, as you can see, of exactly the same piece until it gets up to there, in which I used up all 5 of these lightning pieces that I had, and I think it suits it quite well. It does work with the multicolour kind of look of it. Yeah, and that's just the tail there. Zoom out, as you can see in there, I have got some tubing and stuff that just gives it a bit more of the look that I was looking for, more of a Bionicle look to it. It was predominantly Bionicle parts, but I did use a few Hero Factory pieces too, especially in the segmented tail. That's pretty much all Hero Factory pieces. When we move it along here, you can just see the legs. Give you a bit better look at the legs. The legs are actually moved outwards rather than forwards. So an example of what I mean is just, say we have this here. The legs are actually out like this on the back of the dragon rather than forwards. Like conventional things, as you can see, it's just like that. So that's how the legs look, and it's quite similar to a lizard, dragon, etc. And the feet on here are very different to the ones at the back, except for, of course, the lightning piece, but it has got a couple of like back claw bits on the end. Yeah, just to give it more. I don't know, just give it more of an effect to it. So it has 5 and has 2 opposable fingers on the back. And of course, on the opposite side, the feet and the legs are exactly the same. There's more tubing there, dark red and blue bits too. And yeah, that's that. Okay, now I'm going to show you some of the actual bodywork. I used these pieces on the back, kind of gave it almost an abdomen-like look to it. They are posable to an extent. These panels here, as you can see under there. On the head, by the way, these panels are actually movable, but I generally like to keep them the same. And the panels move. Dark red piece, because I basically ran out of pieces, but I think it looks cool on there. And a panel that just sits in there. I did use a couple of these pieces on here, just because they work, and that. Move on to the back, and 2 panels here. They should be a bit more even, like that. Yeah, just like that. There's tubing under there. Yeah, more under here. This is kind of not quite so neat, but yeah. And unfortunately, I had to put this on here to support the legs, because the legs were otherwise way too flimsy, and I didn't have any support pieces to be able to strengthen it. Can't remember what they're called, but like stiffener joint pieces in the recent Her Factory series. But yeah, and if you look closely in there, that's kind of how the neck was put together. That I have that piece there to just to support it up a bit more. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this MOC. If you've got any suggestions for MOCs that I can do, and I forgot to mention, I'm doing this MOC series. Zoom that out. I'm doing MOCs now every Friday. Yes, every Friday. This should be released on a Friday or even a little bit earlier. So be looking forward to that every week. So yeah, as I said, if you have any suggestions for MOCs, I have another one coming up, which Houston Productions 1 is actually going to make a MOC of it. He wanted to, once he gets some of the certain sets that's associated with. I don't want to give anything away. You probably got an idea of what it is now, but it's basically an enlarged version of that set, and I've already built it, so yeah, be looking forward to that next week. And that's pretty much it for this MOC review. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I would love a new member. Hope you enjoy the MOCs. Like, favourite, subscribe, of course. And that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot for watching.